Okay, so guys, this is Fight Commentary Breakdown. I'm here with Lubo from Choke-A-Bloke.
Hello.
And we're going to look at some Shintaro videos that he did with Brian Glick and with Sensei Seth. So one thing I like, Lubo, is that Sensei Seth puts on a white belt. Kind of be humble about it. I really like that. Ooh!
Yeah, he does, they pretty much all do. I mean, they will mention later that in that video that Brian Glick will mention that he's a BJJ black belt as well as Judo black belt. Shintaro is I believe, red and white belt in Judo. I don't know what his rank is in Jiu Jitsu. I'm not sure, or even if it's current. But yeah, if they go to a dojo where they wouldn't put a black belt if they go to a karate dojo and spar in karate specifically. But Brian Glick is a black belt under John Danaher, longtime black belt.
Wow.
One of his first, I think, and is really, really talented. And if you're a BJJ fan or practitioner, you would do yourself disservice if you don't follow him on, platforms. He's very cerebral as Danaher, I might say.
Wow, look at him take the back of Seth so easily.
Technique is great. And right here, if you can pause it for a second.
Sure.
Right here, if you notice how he puts his hooks down, because he's on the back, especially on a bigger guy. So Seth is going to just go on all fours and shock him off, basically. Right? Like right there, you can see the hooks are not symmetrical. He's engaging with his left leg behind the knee, with his left instep behind the knee.
I see, right here.
Yep.
Right here.
And then the right one is kind of wedging behind the other knee.
I see.
So he's asymmetrical with the legs. It's like holding on to something, essentially.
I see.
If he puts his hooks a little more symmetrical, so to speak, like in a more traditional way, he's just gonna slide off the back right away.
I see.
And you can see George St. Pierre do that sometimes. Damien Maya does that in actual MMA fights. So where it's even more slippery here, they're wearing gis.
Wow. And it makes sense because, he's kind of more hanging on one side, right? So you have to adjust your hooks that way.
Correct.
Too.
He actually put himself on one side because in order to be able to adjust the hooks like that. And because if you're on someone's back and they start all four in like Sensei Seth is doing, and you keep on a seat belt, so harness seat belt, whatever you want to call it, one over, one under, you're most likely going to slide off their back. You have to go with double unders or something like that, or do this with the legs, which is a great configuration. And you will see what this leads to. It's a really, in this case not, but I think they do it later again.
I see.
Or did he tap him? I can't remember.
Okay. Wow. Oh, look at that, Seth.
Well, you got to take your...
Take it when you can.
Take it when you can.
Oh, wow. Armbar like that.
Yep. He took him as he could.
So, something else to really emphasize again, Lubo said this too, like Brian Glick is smaller than Seth. So it's really good to see how a smaller guy goes up against a bigger guy. Because, guys, weight does matter. Weight class does matter. No matter how much jiu-jitsu guys will say, technique will beat, strength, that's completely not true.
Actually, yes, of course. We say it all the time. Guilty as charged. But the truth is that if the big guy is close to your skill, not to speak better, but close to your skill, anywhere remotely close, or knows how to at least, mess up with most of your attacks, you're in big trouble because there is a lot of weight difference here. I believe Seth is around 200 and maybe 15 to 10 or something, and Brian Glick is around 150, 155 at the most. And that's a huge difference.
Yeah.
There you go. They're talking about the belt difference. I don't know. The other one looks white also, but it has some red around it.
That's right. And so so Seth's doing judo now with
yeah.
Wow. So that would be a point for Shintaro.
Yeah. Okay. That was a takedown, a throw. I'm not sure what it's called in judo. I'm not proficient with the judo terminology or names rather. But he's actually using an inside trip. It's an inside trip. He gets a hold of his gi and see, one hand is on the collar, the other one is on the sleeve, which is very, very typical. He's trying to off balance him. Now he tried it again, but Seth is a martial artist and he has good balance with the karate and everything. So he's not gonna give him that. So he'll probably give him something else. We'll see.
Exactly.
We'll see.
Exactly. Oh, it's so cool to see kind of a really good judo guy versus someone who's not as trained in judo. It's really cool to see.
No, but again, he's martial artist. He has a good balance of his body. And look what he did. He threw an underhook on the one side and he tripped him with the underhook. It wasn't a clean throw, but don't forget the weight difference. Now, that was a trip. And it happened because this is going to lead to something interesting also.
Oof.
He tried a trip there, tried an inside trip again. Now, again, I'm not sure of the terminology. I'm not going to even speculate on the names of the throws in judo. But...
Ooh.
And this is a sumigaeshi. That I can tell That I can tell you. It's a very nice entry to sumigaeshi. A very effective throw.
Wow.
It's they call it sacrifice throw.
Sacrifice throw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he basically put his... what's it called? He put his body underneath Seth's body, and really the size does matter, but when you put your weight underneath your whole body underneath someone's weight, you can lift them up. It's not a pure arm strength anymore.
I see. This
is another. That's the same.
Throw?
Yeah, same thing with the belt grip, like a Georgian grip they call it in sambo. And he's doing the same thing now. He's trying it at least, but
he kind of got it right.
He got it. Yeah, he rolled out of it, but he kind of got it.
Wow. So in judo, when you do a sacrifice throw, it's called a sacrifice throw because because you throw your back on the ground. I think that's why it's called. I don't think it's called that in judo. I think that's what it's called maybe in wrestling. I see.
More like I don't know if it exists in wrestling exactly because there's no gi and you can do it without the gi, but it's kind of I don't know who gave it the name sacrifice throw.
I see. I like that term a lot.
It's called sumigaeshi. Basically, it's a butterfly hook throw, and you can do it from sitting position. You can do it from standing position. So from your back, supine position. Now they're doing a sparring,
and Shintaro's wearing kickboxing gloves, so he can't really grab. This is really interesting. Oh, he's grabbing anyways.
Yeah, he is. You're right. He's wearing the big gloves, but he's actually doing. Shintaro's doing really, really well on the feet, and actually, Seth says it later that he's doing very good for a grappler. And then, I don't want to spoil it, but you can see the distance management by the karate person, and you can see that with Wonder Boy. You can see that with karate fighters in the UFC. They don't necessarily utilize karate as much as Michelle Watterson is one example.
True.
As they actually take advantage of their knowledge of distancing.
Wow.
And distance management.
Seth's kicks are kind of scary, man. I can imagine.
They are.
His kicks come from all angles, like much more varied than, let's say, a Muay Thai fighter. It's really cool.
Correct. And he doesn't try to connect. He tries rather not to connect with both punches and kicks because, as he says later, or he already may have said it, Shintaro is not wearing a mouth guard.
Oh,
for some reason. So they kind of. But look at that. I mean, for a judo guy to throw these kind of spinning kicks and jumping spin kicks, whatever they call it,
even try to capoeira kick.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, guys. That's a very good PSA. Make sure to spar with mouth guards. Okay, like mouth guards protect you against so much because. Especially when you get hit and you fall or something, the tendency is to clinch, right? And when you clinch, what happens is you naturally will tuck your neck and also flexion it. It's something I learned because I didn't realize how much, not only does a mouth guard just protect your teeth, it also makes your neck and your head brace for impact better.
True. Absolutely true. Great advice. Use your mouth guard and in the beginning you're going to be gagging on it, but then you're going to be thankful for using it.
It's almost gonna become like your pacifier. Like you'll like putting your teeth and clenching. look at Shintaro.
This is a great way to off balance someone. In this case, Seth is much taller, so when you lift his leg, he's actually, if he's a little flexible, which he should be as a karate black belt, he's probably going to be feeling it. There is the same configuration of the legs we were talking about earlier. He let go.
I see.
But as you lift their leg, there it is. See that configuration? And now he's going to use a quarter Nelson. He didn't, but he went for it. Now he's gonna roll out of it because he has to transfer to the next guy.
This is pretty cool. This is like a
I know
kumite.
they did like a Shark Tank kind of on him. Call it Shark Tank.
Wow.
And
Wow. Oh, here comes Seth. So it's like a 2-on-1 almost. Interesting.
yeah, Brian Glick does a throw attack, and then from there went into an ankle pick, if I'm not mistaken, and then he goes straight to the ground.
Oh, look at that. Sensei Seth
Someone's
is winded.
tired. Someone's tired.
I like he's grabbing him by the belt and pulling him.
And
Armbar
for the armbar,
Ooh,
right?
Sensei Seth is kind of defending it a little bit. Oh.
Yep. You keep one leg up in the air. It's very hard for the other person to actually get it done. This was a mount, and I was just holding him. They're not really doing anything to.
This is kind of funny. I love this. We should do this sometime.
Yeah, Shark Tank somebody. That's what they're doing. One person stays down, and then every minute or whatever, he gets fresh opponents. In this case, there's only 2, but you can get like 10 opponents and just burn yourself out.
I see. Is there more? Oh, this was the end of it. Okay.
This is almost the end of it, I guess. But yeah.
Yeah. So this is Brian Glick on the left, Sensei Seth in the middle, Shintaro Higashi on the right. 3 very, very talented, awesome instructors and martial artists. So, guys, lots of great stuff to look at again, lots of great stuff to analyze, but please go follow them. Go follow them. And also, please follow Lubo. He's on Instagram and YouTube, Choke a Bloke. Very, very awesome name. How long did it take you, Lubo, to come up with that name?
I don't think it took me any time at all. I don't know. I don't remember how it came, but I didn't think about it. It just came up.
Wow.
And I'm like, well, that sounds like a good name for a channel or something, something. I mean, there it is. That same.
Yeah, the sacrifice throw.
Yeah. Same Sumigashi kind of throw. And the problem here is that he has his leg on the outside. He's supposed to have that hook in the middle between.
The middle, I see. So that's why Shintaro was able to balance
that, and because he's a judoka.
He's a judo,
so it's like not the same kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
If you put the volume up here for them to hear.
Yeah.
Yes, I've got my butt kicked a bunch.
Oh no, that wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a little shout out
part.
Hayabusa, yeah. He says, well, Shintaro is doing really well for a grappler on his feet. Yeah. Sensei Seth says so, and then Shintaro goes, yeah, I did some karate when I was young, and then I did some boxing and some Thai boxing.
Ooh.
But he never mentions that in the beginning, so
I see.
kind of caught him off guard.
Because I saw the side kick, and I saw the way Shintaro threw the roundhouse kick. It looked like a karate way of doing it. That's why I was like, okay, maybe he's had some training.
Yeah, in karate, they pull the roundhouse kick back.
Yes, I saw that. Well, I think we'll see it very quickly when he does throw a roundhouse kick. It was a very karate roundhouse kick. And like some of that, the guard and some of his head movement does look like he had some boxing training.
Yeah, but even if you look at Sensei,
like
Seth,
right there.
he's not. Yes,
yeah.
He's not he's fighting karate. He's got his hands low, like he probably would, and it gives him more mobility. It's not the wrong way to go. I'm a big proponent of hands not being high all the time. But if you notice, his stance is great. He's fighting. He's never out of balance. Yeah. Even like that was a nice shift forward.
Yeah.
His stance is really good. His boxing seems to be good. Like footwork and everything.
This is Shintaro trying to capoeira moves.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, right here he says it.
Yeah.
In this dojo, my dad. Really? And I did a little bit of Muay Thai with Joe Santieri.
Oh.
He's a man I not boxed for a couple of years.
Seth is like, why didn't you tell me that before?
Yeah. It wasn't that much of a fair game.
Exactly.